Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Busy on Break. It's been quite a while since we've last done any content. We're back and better than ever. Hopefully we're back on some sort of schedule now. I'm your host, Joe. How you doing today? I'm joined here by by these normal yahoos over here. Saying with me like Yahoo myself.
I love Yahoos back in the day. Yahoos were the best.
We got Shane over here. We got Rylan over here. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. Living the dream one day at a time.
I'm feeling really fat today. So,
bro, speaking of which, I put myself on the scale. I'm like, I have actually gained a couple pounds as of recently.
It's the fall 15.
Well, see, here's the thing. Whenever I weigh myself, I should be like completely naked whenever I weigh myself, right? So
go on.
Please tell us more.
No, I like had all my clothes on while I weighed myself this morning. So I'm like, oh crap, maybe I gained a couple pounds. No, bro, you actually had your clothes on.
Hey, those clothes can add 5 pounds.
Oh, let's roll the intro sequence.
Roll the sequence.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining us for another episode of Busy on Break here. It's our 8th episode, so we're happy to keep things rolling over here. We got some life updates that we're going to, give you guys a little bit of an inside scoop. Don't worry, we won't spend too much time on this. But, Shane, I think it might be a good idea to try and start with you over there. So, as we were, trying to prepare for the podcast and everything, all of a sudden, so you texted me, I went outside, and then I saw this, really amazing car that you started driving up the driveway. So, yeah, dude, let us know, how's it driving this brand new Jeep of yours?
Well,
not brand new, but, as new as it can be.
Well, thank you. It's been great. I drove Toyota Scions for 12 years, and I wanted to save money. I wanted to be cheap and kind of live like I was broke in terms of my car. And I was like, you know what? I really want to get a nicer car. I really want to get a better car, and decided on a 2021 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, and it's been a hell of a decision so far. I really enjoy it. So, and my my girlfriend, it was funny because I guess my Toyota Scion, after a while, she said that it smelled, and
oh no!
What had happened is
smelled like Cheese Whiz.
That too, but I actually had gone to Buffalo Wild Wings about 6 months ago, and I guess there was I went with her, and I got leftovers, so I must have put the box in the back of the Scion, and I forgot about it.
Where this is going?
This was back in the summer.
Damn,
so
dude.
my girlfriend a couple months ago was like, "What's something smells in your car?" And I was like, "I don't smell anything," because I got so accustomed to it. And it was funny when I was selling my Scion, I was like, let me clean out my car and see what's in there. But over time, my car actually did start to smell worse and worse. And when I cleared out all the trash and some of the I had sweatshirts and stuff in the back, and I found the wings that are 6 months old. I opened up the box, and it was the most horrid smell you'll ever imagine in your entire life. So
damn, dude.
I got rid of the wings, but I was like, you know what? I'm thank God I'm getting rid of this smelly Scion. And when I got the Jeep Wrangler, my girlfriend actually bought me some car sweeteners or whatever. So she was she bought 4 of them, and she put them underneath the seats to make the car smell good. She's like, yeah, you need help in that department. So I was like, I'll gladly take that.
That's what's nice about women. They have good sense of smell.
And way better than ours.
They'll let you know when something's not smelling good. They're going to be like, yeah, you need to put on some deodorant.
Put on some cologne, chap.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's awesome. We saw the Jeep out there, and I'm a little jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, I'm absolutely jealous.
I was jealous of your G6 for the longest time and your current car. So I got to have my car moment.
Dude, I should have wore a green shirt. I'm wearing green pants, but a green shirt because I'm a little jealous of this Jeep, dude. I'm feeling a little green,
you know what?
envious.
I'll let you drive it. I'll let you drive it sometime.
No, I'm just kidding.
And we'll go off roading, and I trust you with it. I trust
Yeah.
you with my life and my car.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, Rylan, how about if we get on to you over there,
Yeah.
brother?
Yes.
So yeah, we. Oh jeez.
Oh God.
So yesterday we made an attempt. So obviously your now wife wanted to try and go purchase this this Volvo, and
Yeah.
I mean it was gorgeous, man.
Yes.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But I mean there was just more than one things that maybe could have steered
Yeah.
her in the wrong direction. Like I'm not going to say that guy had like an Honest Earl, Easy Eddie sort of vibe
No,
about
I
him.
didn't get that sense at all. I really felt like he was like a gearhead kind of guy where
Absolutely.
I know next to nothing about his history, but he came off to me as someone that's selling a vehicle and, you know, he's not really a salesman. He's really a mechanic that owns his own shop.
Absolutely.
And he was selling a car privately or a Volvo S. I think it was it like an XC90?
It was a Volvo Cross Country 90. I think it was like the top of the line SUVs that they offer, but it's like the one of the lower rungs of the ladder of
I
like the
think
top
that's
end.
right. Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
And it was used. I mean, it had 90,000 miles at least on it. But I don't know. I drive more practical cars where my wife's a little more bougie. She likes
yeah,
Volvo.
absolutely.
But I think the biggest issue that we determined was that noise. The engine was making this
Yeah.
like clicking noise, or how would you describe that noise?
Yeah, so I searched up the part on Rock Auto, and there's this thing called a canister purge valve. Basically, it's an emissions device that's on your vehicle, but for some reason, it was clicking really, really loudly. I've never heard an evap valve click that loudly before. I mean, was it operating properly within spec? I'm going to be honest, I don't know.
I
mean,
really
it
don't
could have
know.
been, but at the same time, like hearing those loud clicks,
Yeah.
like you could hear the engine running with its fuel injectors and the spark plugs and everything,
Yeah.
but then you have this clicking going on in the background. It just wasn't rubbing me in the right direction.
And not only that, we were almost convinced that we broke the hood because we were trying to shut the fucking hood and it would not fucking shut. And we're like, oh God, this guy's going to come out and be like, what did you do?
Yeah, we had no idea what happened. We were just trying to open the freaking hood. All we had to do was like do the slight flick of the wrist on that yellow little tab underneath.
That was it.
Like, what? Are you kidding me, Volvo?
Could you imagine like breaking the hood on a test drive? Like,
Oh!
you probably like be liable for that. I don't know,
Oh, dude!
possibly,
I
like-
mean, I don't know what would have happened if he couldn't shut that hood, but he was first a little frustrated, and then he somehow figured it out, and he's like, "Oh, that's normal too. It is,
Sure.
He's
He's
like,
trying to play it off.
I was like, first of all, the engine's clicking, the hood won't shut. Like,
You're gonna give us a 50% discount on
and
this thing.
yeah, and it was not cheap. Like for a 90,000, I'm not
Bro,
getting
it was freaking expensive
like it was
for
actually,
that mileage.
it was
Cars
like,
are expensive
It was the price of
nowadays.
like a newer vehicle, and I'm telling my wife, I'm like, I in good, I mean, if this is really what you want, we'll do it. But I in good conscience cannot
let you do
Yeah,
this.
I really can't.
I have to put my 2 cents in this. Yeah.
Yeah, and Joe and I, we were talking the night before, and we realized that this engine requires like 93 premium like gas.
Yeah.
I use regular unleaded. I'm like, I don't need a vehicle that needs 93 octane.
That's unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, we're just not that point in our careers, so yeah, so we ended up not purchasing the thing, but Joe, he went with us and he was nice enough to
Car
check
expert,
it out.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a car expert, car guru.
He
So
was
I only
protecting
pretend
the
to
good
know what I'm doing there, boys.
no. You know what you're doing. And then what about your updates, my good sir?
Yeah, so honestly, everything's been going really good. Now have a new girlfriend right now.
Congrats.
That's
Look at
that's
you.
been absolutely phenomenal. So did something that I've never done before, and we went out to this opening in the forest, and
Okay.
we kissed underneath the stars. And I'm like, you know what? That's like one of the most like I'm a closet romantic. So go ahead and roast me in the comments section. Screw you guys.
I can hear them typing.
Yeah, right. All those keyboard warriors and everything.
No, that's good for you, man. I'm proud of you.
Is that a
I
Taylor
appreciate
Swift
it.
song?
What, keyboard warriors?
It might be. It might be.
I was thinking like Kiss Underneath the Stars. But
Yeah, right. Kiss Underneath the Stars. I think
Yeah,
that's one of her biggest
probably.
hits.
I mean, anything with Taylor Swift that involves anything romantically. Taylor Swift is like the Rule 34 of the music industry. If you have done it romantically, then she's probably sung about it. I'm sorry for that comparison, by the way.
Yeah.
so many ideas run through my
Yeah,
mind.
A lot of interesting ideas.
But then
run
I
through my
remembered
head.
I'm married, so I can't say any of those ideas.
Plead the fifth.
I was like, High School Rye would say something here, but he's not saying it today.
Hey, the Fifth Amendment is always a
Not
good right.
today, Satan.
I'm gonna be honest. Like Taylor Swift is. I'm not gonna say that she's the best looking girl in the world, but she's actually
She's attractive.
Yeah, she's not bad looking.
No, she's
I was
attractive.
about to say, I would say Travis Kelce did relatively okay.
Yeah, he's dating the most famous woman on the
Yeah,
planet.
he's doing okay.
He's doing all
Most
right.
famous woman ever.
He's
It's
doing,
okay.
Yeah, most famous woman of all time, probably.
It
Probably
might
all
be.
time. Probably all time.
Definitely. But yeah, like other things. So I have been outside of the Eastern time zone for the first time in my life. That was a lot of fun. I went on a road trip with my dad to Phoenix, Arizona. So going out west. So, over here, we're on the East Coast. We're used to all the heat and humidity and the whole 9 yards. Well, so over here, we're absolutely used to 80% humidity, 90% humidity, and then, 80 to 90 degrees weather, right? So on our way out to Arizona, so we were able to take with us a whole bunch of, car tools and stuff. And one of the things I took with me was an infrared temperature scanner. And that was just in case if the engine was overheating, we could figure out what might need to be replaced on a long road trip like this. You got to keep in mind, it was a 2,700 mile trip. Well, we were about an hour west of Albuquerque. I take this temperature gun, I point it at the asphalt. So it's like 105 degrees outside. And, asphalt, you can't even put your hand on the asphalt for any more than like 3 seconds. It was 137 degrees on the asphalt. It was absolutely incredible.
Wow.
That's some hot ass right there.
Yeah, it 100% is. But yeah, the travel out there was really good. We got to experience some decent Texas cuisine. I had the biggest plate of French toast I could ever have in my entire life. Yo,
Good
the
barbecue down there.
bacon, the bro, no homo. The meat was so good. It really was.
I second
Their
that.
sausage was amazing. Their bacon was amazing. And you know what was amazing? Because literally right down the road, there was a slaughter farm. So they had like a whole bunch,
yeah.
like all the Angus beef, and it was just a sea of black and white.
They're slaughtering the thick and juicy sausages.
Was was that guy with the chainsaw there too?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Chainsaw back here. What was his name? Something face. I forget his name.
Leatherface.
Leatherface.
Leatherface
That
slaughterhouse.
crazy ass family.
So weird.
God.
From what I understand, also you guys have been traveling throughout the summer as
Yeah,
well.
been traveling man.
Yeah, Rylan, definitely want to
man.
start with you.
Well,
what
as
was
you can
some?
see, I'm wearing a Maine shirt. I
There
was
we
in
go.
Maine.
There we go. Was it
Maine,
cold
man.
as hell up there? Were
No.
your nipples hard enough to cut glass?
I mean, when aren't they? But I mean, it wasn't that hot. I mean, it wasn't that cold, but my nipples were hot, so so they weren't too perky. But
Oh no.
I got to go to Acadia National Park, which was awesome. Contrary to my shirt, I did not see a moose, but I saw a bunch of dead porcupines on the road.
Wow.
Interesting.
Ate a bunch of lobster, which was awesome.
Oh, let's go.
Do you guys like seafood?
Oh, hell
Yeah, I love seafood. yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, then you should do this. You should drive, especially in your new Jeep. Take a road trip from here to Boston. That's where we stopped for like 3 days.
Okay.
Eat all the food you can get there because Boston has amazing food. Then travel up to Maine is where we went next. And then you can get all the lobster you want. The food was awesome. So,
Oh, that sounds incredible.
That sounds
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
what about you, Shane?
My girlfriend and I went out to Utah, and we visited. Well, we flew into Vegas, just walked the strip a little bit, and then we hopped in our rental car and we drove to Utah. We went to 4 of the national parks. And
that sounds amazing.
I'll say, Utah is known for the Mormons, but once you get outside of Mormon country and you see these national parks, they are just astoundingly beautiful. Not as beautiful as Ryland, but pretty close.
Oh, thanks.
I will absolutely second that.
Yeah.
Canceled immediately.
But no, it is incredible hiking. We went to Zion National Park, which reminded me of when we and our group went to Zion
that
4
was
years ago.
Fucking great.
I was
trip.
getting flashbacks when we were hiking up to Scouts Lookout, and then we went to Bryce Canyon. Bryce Canyon's incredible. It's one of the lesser known parks in Utah, but man, the hoodoos were amazing to walk through and see everything.
That's incredible.
And then we went to Arches, spent a day there. The cool thing about Arches is that there's these huge rock structures that you can walk up in and climb up and crawl up and everything, and they're just really, really cool. And then Canyonlands was that was a really cool park. We had a really interesting story. So there's this trail called Murphy's Point. It's a 2-mile trail until you get to this cliff point. And it was my girlfriend and her brother, and we actually walked by mountain lion tracks. I think I don't know if I showed you.
You did,
yeah. So
You
we
definitely send in the group chat when you get the chance.
yeah. So we walked by the mountain lion tracks, and my girlfriend's brother was like, "Look, those are mountain lion tracks." We're like, "How'd you know?" It's like, "I had a mountain lion encounter," and he pulled up his phone and showed us.
God.
And I'm like, "Wow, you had a mountain lion encounter? That's crazy." So he was like, "Yeah, those are fresh." I'm like, "They're fresh." I'm like, Jesus. So we walked, further. We finally get to the cliffs. We spent 30 minutes looking out and everything, relaxing. And then, we're like, all right, let's head back. Let's try to avoid this mountain lion that's out here. And so about halfway back, we run across these 2 big holes in the ground. And I'm like, oh no, this is the last last scene of the movie. And I was like, so he was looking in there, and the whole time I'm like, this is getting bad. This guy's gonna come back. These are big holes in the ground. And I'm like, what animal could do this besides a mountain lion? Maybe a bear, I guess. But I'm like, let's get back to the parking lot. And I was my girlfriend was like, can I get in the middle, and Shane, you get in the back? I'm like, all right, sure, that's fine. And the whole time we were walking, we kept hearing noise in the background, I don't know, from 50 or 100 yards away, and it was in the grass, and the trees were 15 to 20 feet high. And mountain lions love those types of trees because they can leap out really quick. So the whole time back to the parking lot, I kept looking back, thinking that I was going to get freaking mauled by a mountain lion. But somehow, luckily, we made it back to the parking lot, not unscathed.
Dude, that's some dangerous pussy. You
That
gotta
was-
watch out for that. Mountain lion.
Ooh, yummy.
I'm
It's a
serious.
big, dangerous pussy that
that will kill you.
I want no part of.
Yeah,
I don't
Absolutely
want to wrestle
not.
with that pussy.
that is not one to wrestle with.
Absolutely not.
That's one wrestling match you might not walk away from.
No. I would
Gotta be honest.
I'd be the pussy's food.
Yeah, so okay, please enlighten me. So I keep on hearing about this thing, and not to change the topic or anything, because I want to also ask you guys about because you guys met up in Amsterdam, right?
We did.
Yep.
Yeah,
We did do that.
Why the heck is this new trend set where women are like, oh, would you rather be stuck in a room with either a bear or a man? And a lot of women are choosing the bear. Have you guys heard about this?
No.
Wait,
no.
what?
Wait,
I'm
women
dead
are
serious.
choosing to be in a room with a
You rather be in a
bear
room
than
with a
man?
hungry
I'm
bear?
dead serious. This is something that's been, I guess, perpetuated within pop culture these days. They absolutely hate. Well, I want to be careful with how I'm saying this, but they're not necessarily the biggest fan of men. So as a result, they're like, I would feel a lot safer with a bear than I would with an actual man.
Dude, I would feel safer. I gotta be careful with which man I choose, but dude, I'd feel safer with Vladimir Putin than a bear. That might be extreme, but honestly, I think a bear is just barehanded man versus a bear with claws. And if it's a grizzly bear or a polar bear, which literally hunts people in the Arctic, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe the bear, but probably not, dude. Probably not the bear, dude. Like,
Shit, I'd be more comfortable with Kim Jong Un than a fucking grizzly bear.
yeah.
I mean, you're probably not wrong. Women, please choose your partners wisely. Anyways, that was a
please do.
brief little tangent. So, yeah, I wanted to get to what you guys experienced over in Amsterdam. Like, what was it like over there? Also, at the same time, like, you guys had an entire friend group over there.
Yeah, that was
like,
so
everything
dope.
just worked out so well.
was-
Like, what was it like, man?
Perfect.
Well, I tell you, man. I'd never been outside of the United States and the UK. I mean, actually, that's not true. I've been to a couple other countries, but I've never been to like the mainland of Europe. You've been to Europe.
Yep.
Shane's been to
Been there
Europe
a few times.
a few times, but I've never been on like the shores of Europe. I've been in the UK, which is kind of like Europe, but it's kind of not really.
Separated island, yeah.
And then to actually be in Amsterdam, which is like, bona fide Europe, was so cool. Once again, I'm a food guy. The food in Amsterdam, so fucking good. Because they're in the EU, they share cuisine with Italy. Like,
really?
actual Italians own restaurants in Amsterdam.
Yep.
Like,
That's got to be amazing.
it's legit. Like, it's not just like good Italian food. It's authentic, legitimate Italians making you Italian food in a city like Amsterdam. To me, it was amazing. I don't know if I'll ever get to Italy. I hope I do, but that's probably as close to Italian food, like authentic Italian food I've ever had.
What was their fettuccine Alfredo like?
I did not try the fettuccine. I did, like a spaghetti, like chicken parm, I think it was. I tried the pizza. But then it's not just like Italian food. I mean, there is not indigenous, but like there's food that you would only get in Amsterdam. It's called like bitterballen. It's like
Bitterballen.
something I've never seen before. It's almost like a dumpling, but it's its own thing. And then, I mean, the food, I think the quality of the food's better in Amsterdam.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, no question. I mean, with the amount of stuff that's in, and I don't think it's controversial to say that American cuisine has been absolutely poisoned with a whole bunch of chemicals and stuff.
It must be,
Yeah.
or maybe it's just the way they farm in Europe, or my God, it could be a million things. But whatever it is, like a glass of milk there tastes better than our. Like, why does
Yeah.
our milk not taste the same? I don't know.
So there's been some people that have said, now, once again, do your own research. We're not your, can I say, like, podcast for like completely accurate information. But so what people will do, they'll start eating over in Europe for like a lengthy period of time. They'll actually start to notice they're losing weight.
Yeah.
And as soon as they come back to the United States, they start, gaining weight again.
I think
So,
I noticed that. Yeah.
Like you gotta kind of wonder, like, what exactly is going on
It's a really good question.
within the United States food system. Now, I will say we have an overabundance of food. I'm absolutely not denying that.
Yeah.
But there is something that's going on there. And
There's got to be something.
yeah.
I think they're packing the food with like a lot of preservatives and
Oh, dude. So it's that, and it's also the freaking microplastics, right? So if you think that, if we had everything that was packed in a whole bunch of like glass containers, I think we would not be stuck in this situation. But
Interesting.
people have found a whole bunch of, really a whole bunch of microplastics within your gray matter inside your brain.
Wow.
So, like, if you think, not that I'm going to name any companies, but there are companies that sell a lot of these healthier food options. You can put them inside the microwave and reheat them. But what are they packed in? They're packed in styrofoam, and the plastic that you peel off, well, that's also plastic. There's going to be microplastics in it. So it's pretty unfortunate. It's bad for the male reproductive system. It's bad for your overall health. Once again, do your own research, but this is stuff that we found based on our own independent research.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about the food, but it was excellent. Prior to seeing Shane in Amsterdam, the two other people I was with, we were in Ireland for so once again, kind of like the UK, but not really. But the food was not even close to Amsterdam's food.
Yeah.
So I think United States food is fine. I think it depends on the restaurant, but there's excellent food here. I'm not like shitting on United States food. I love the food here. But then when you go to a place, I'm sure like Italy, for example, which I've yet to go to, I hear the food in Italy is like the best food.
I hear the food is the best in Italy as well. It's like the people in Italy that eat Italian food, like authentic Italian food in Italy. they're like stay in shape. It's very healthy. But if you imagine eating Italian food for every single meal here in the U.S., like you're
Yeah.
just gonna be fat as shit. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, the amount of butter that dude,
Oh,
you would
my
freaking
God.
turn into. Wait, what's that girl on the Food Network that likes to use butter and everything?
Rachel Ray.
Rachel
or-
Ray.
Not Rachel Ray. It's like this is gonna bother me, but there's some.
Is it Martha Stewart?
Not Martha Stewart. It was an older,
Older.
gal.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
kind of old too.
Betty White. I don't know.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is
if
it
Betty
Ina
White-
Garden?
That's not her either.
Oh, okay.
When I get the chance, I'll definitely show you boys that. But
All right.
yeah, so basically that's been our life updates. If you guys are good
Yeah.
with wrapping up that topic right there.
Sure.
So yeah, I wanted to get on to a bit of a, can I say, controversial topic, but I think it's something that's on everybody's minds these days. Artificial intelligence. Now, I will be fair and honest with you guys. I am currently studying this stuff with my degree, and to me, I usually like to, view this topic as maybe a glass half full kind of thing. I personally believe that AI has the possibility of being extremely beneficial towards society. If you look at, I believe it's Star Trek that has this one scene that has a whole bunch of spider robots that are building a whole bunch of these structures. So I definitely believe that we could use these to our fullest advantage, and then maybe also use them to utilize the entire resources of Earth, and maybe even travel to other planets, travel to Mars, not Venus. Venus sucks. Ask me how I know. But where do you guys think so far that AI is? Like, especially with ChatGPT, there's also, I believe, several different uncensored versions of ChatGPT that's out there. Do you guys think that AI is a net positive or net negative? There's a lot of thought that goes into this, so please let your imagination run wild.
Yeah. I mean, I've so far found AI to be super helpful.
Absolutely.
Now, the day that it turns on me, I'll be screwed. So I try to be nice.
Judgment Day.
I say think you at the end of each prompt. I'm like,
Wait,
thank you so much, AI.
wait. So, dude, OpenAI does not want you to do that.
Dude, but that all right.
Really?
Okay,
Serious?
This is
Every
what he's
time you
thinking?
say thank you
Okay.
to AI, it costs like $10 million
but
a year.
OpenAI is not
Oh my
factoring the
God.
fact when it turns on all of us, it'll remember who said thank you. So
It will. It will. It's when you're nice to the school shooter. He won't shoot you.
all right, you know what I'm saying? It's applicable here. So
It is.
I say thank you to AI, but because of AI, I mean, even on my couple trips, I'd be like, hey, where should I go to see the fireworks? And I'll be like, I recommend this place. I'm like, what if I want to be away from the crowds? This will also work. And just that kind of guidance in your life when you're a foreigner in a foreign land, say Europe, and you don't know shit. It's in, the language is in Dutch or the language is in something you don't speak. AI is super helpful in those situations. And it goes beyond that. Like AI is now like making songs,
Yep.
the deep fakes and stuff. That's where it gets dangerous with like kind of distorting your reality. Like I am a little worried about, there has to be some kind of regulation on AI because
Yeah.
at some point, like video evidence is just not going to be applicable in like courts and stuff because it's like, did
Dude,
this
that's
really
getting
happen?
scary.
You don't know what that's what's crazy. You mentioned like the video evidence. There's so many AI generated videos that look so realistic
Yeah.
that you just can't tell. Like you really can't tell if
In
it's AI or
certain
not.
instances, yeah, you are
Like,
correct.
Some are like completely butchered and it's AI, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah.
hilarious.
It's really obvious,
when they
yeah.
like basically dub over like a famous person.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah,
actually
yeah.
funny. But when it's so realistic that you're like, maybe it's real, that's a
Yeah,
problem.
remember there was a AI video of like Justin Bieber in court with like P Diddy, and I guess the AI video was trying to make Justin seem like a victim of one of P Diddy's parties. It looks so real. I was like, this is definitely fake, but like people out there are buying this. They're like believing this is
Yeah.
actually true.
Yeah. they
And
are.
it's everywhere on social media. So now social media is like since we've been younger, social media has been a part of our life. But now you throw in AI, which can put a video on and it spreads almost immediately. Everyone sees the video. And now you have people arguing with each other. Did it happen? Did it not happen? I mean, it's causing like all this like disturbance within like our brains, you know.
Friction too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like was someone from the Democrats, maybe like someone's political strategy campaign, posts like a fake AI video of like the Republican candidate, and then vice versa, and they basically can spin it one way or another. So yeah, I
It's
find
possible, man.
it is. Yeah, I find AI to be very useful based on what you just said. Like if you need some information and you ask it a question, it gives you a really, really good answer. Whereas before you'd have to sift through like 10 to 15
Yeah.
articles on Google.
Yeah.
Now
That's
you're
amazing.
getting a very, very most of the time like accurate answer in 3 seconds. But I also worry about, certain sectors like accounting, graphic design, software engineer. There's like data entry, like entry level customer
100%,
service jobs.
yeah.
I worry about those jobs because a lot of AI executives say, "Oh, we're going to replace jobs, and AI is going to add a lot of jobs, but how many jobs is it going to take away? And like, what are the people that get displaced from their jobs going to do? Like, do you guys have a solution or job waiting for them?
Yeah.
I don't know."
So you and I have had a conversation about this a while back, and it's my personal opinion that who's like, yes, you do have some. In fact, I think there was one on Facebook and YouTube of like a robot band, right? But the thing is, who wants to watch a robot band? I mean, unless if they play some sort of like impossible song that the average human can't play. It's my opinion that over the course of the next 10 to 20 years, I think that the human experience, whether it be going to actual concerts or, actual paintings or oil paintings, I think that's going to become a whole lot more valuable.
I
over the
actually
next
agree
couple
with
of
you
years.
100% because just the idea of watching a band that's a bunch of robots playing like shredding
Yeah.
the guitar, I'd be like, there's no soul to this
Exactly.
concert.
Yeah.
This is so weird because I think what makes an artist really everyone appreciates about it is that it's a human being, right? And then we're all humans, so potentially we could do this. We can never do
Absolutely.
it. We don't have the talent, but we can at least put ourselves in their shoes and be like, could I play this song as good as them? No. This is impressive. But a robot, I mean, it's an unfair advantage because they can play the perfect chord, whatever that sounds
Precisely.
like. That's not real. There's no soul to that,
Yeah, there's this thing that's called Black MIDI, and it's literally putting whatever notes you want to put into a software, and it'll play it exactly the way that you programmed it into the software. The thing is, if you have like a robot band up on stage, they're essentially doing the same thing. It's going to be a whole bunch of Black MIDI. So instead of black metal, it's Black MIDI. Definitely not looking forward to that aspect of it. So I don't know. There's a lot of advantages and disadvantages to AI. One of them being, do you guys think that within the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to start having AI robot assistants in the house functioning as like a maid of sorts?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting because you'll see. I remember in the one Vegas hotel, we saw like a cleaning robot that was on the casino floor, and we're like, wow,
No kidding.
that's interesting. There's also in certain hotels and casinos, they have robots that'll deliver things to your door.
Wow.
Like I don't know if it's drinks or snacks or room service, but yeah, possibly in 10 years. You could have these robots being like a cleaning person or
Yeah, I don't. 5 to 10 might be a shorter like timeline than it's going to be. It might be maybe 10 to 30 years. Just because I don't think we have robots perfected yet. I think AI is being perfected at a rate that's much faster than robotics.
100%.
I have yet to see a usage of robotics as used as AI at this point. I have seen robots like in Boston. They have like robot like security, like in a mall.
Really?
Yeah, it's this was years ago. I saw this in like 2017.
2017.
2017, I saw a security robot in a mall in Boston. So this is prior to like AI's explosion, which was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think robots have been moving at a much slower pace because that's like whatever that is, 8 years ago that I saw this robot,
Roughly,
and
yeah.
I have not seen like robots everywhere after 8 years, but I've seen AI in 2 years get more and more utilized. So
Yeah.
I think robots have a catch up game because somehow they're going to have to put AI into the robot, and then once again there has to be some kind of regulation. So maybe that's why they haven't jumped on like the robot maid or the robot butler or robot chauffeur just yet, but it will get there. I just don't know if 5 to 10 years, maybe 10 to 30.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I also think self-driving cars are really interesting now too.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I remember I was watching someone's story. This person was in Arizona, and they were in a self-driving car, and I'm like, oh my god! I was watching the story, and there was nobody in the driver's seat, and I'm like, what is going on? And they're like, yeah. I commented, and they're like, yeah, it's a self-driving car. I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to like take into consideration. So, have you guys ever heard of the trolley problem before?
The Charlie problem?
Trolley problem?
Trolley problem.
I have heard about that.
Yeah, so basically the basics of the problem is you have the opportunity to flip a switch. So the trolley's heading towards this track switch.
Oh,
that
yeah, I know.
branches,
Yeah.
right? So you either have the option to just kill one person, unalive one person, or unalive 5 people. Right. So what would you choose, or what would anybody choose in that kind of situation?
Right.
Well, I think most people would choose the situation where only, one of them would be unalived. Well, here's the thing. What if that one person was somebody that meant the most to you in your entire life?
Right.
What would you do? Would you direct it towards the 5 people, or would you direct it towards the one person?
And what if the 5 people is like one chaperone for children, right?
Exactly.
And,
yeah, that's a good point.
And the one person could be someone very prominent or very close to you. Yeah, like how do you how do you put a value on life?
Yeah, if it's like, let's say it's your wife is the 1, and then your 4 best friends and your mom are the 5.
Yeah, like that's a horrible situation.
I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
That's tough.
And I guess what you're saying is like, how would AI respond in these situations?
Yeah, because I don't think AI has a general. It has a quantitative understanding of life, but I don't think it has a moral understanding of what life means. It can't, because AI is nothing but a bunch of statistics that it has learned over the course of its training period. That's it. It's literally nothing but a bunch of numbers. So you got to wonder, is that going to be influential in its decision making? And the answer 100% is yes.
Well, you know a lot about computers, Joe. Can you put like an ethics program into, like, I don't know, the robot? Can you tell the robot to follow the 10 Commandments? Is there ways to do this?
So there's, believe it or not, there's this AI software out there that I think it's called Pastor.ai, where it literally puts together a sermon for you, or it helps out, pastors with sermons and everything. I'm like, I don't know if you would necessarily want AI to help out with that. The reason I bring that up is because I think you can try to put, some version of ethics, or program some version of ethics within AI. The problem is, I think AI is always going to go towards the quantitative aspect. If this, then that. It's a very logical machine, and I don't think. Yes, I think there might be a way to program ethics into it, but the whole if-else structure, for anybody that is familiar with programming, and an AI is going to follow a very basic structure based on what it's programmed. And obviously the best AIs out there is programmed by a lot of stuff that, Google, or at least a lot of the information that Google's going to give it. So largely, yes, that's going to be, in my opinion, relatively religion agnostic, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a serious problem because, especially if these are like self-driving cars, like you said, you saw in Arizona, and they're, putting their vehicles on the road, and people's lives are in this program's hands.
I was
Essentially,
going to say, and what happens
Yeah.
when there's an actual problem in the car? Like, what are you going to do? Call the company and be like, "Hey, the self-driving robot is it's malfunctioning right now. What should we do?"
Dude,
You're like, "Oh, just leave the car, leave it in the middle of the street,
This
the highway."
actually
Like,
happened in freaking LA.
Really?
Yeah, some person was trapped inside
Not
of this
surprised.
car. It was going around the block in an endless loop.
oh my god,
This is the stupidest thing I've ever
well,
seen.
I think it goes back to the distrust. I think there's going to be a lot of people that naturally will distrust self-driving cars, and they're like, "I don't want to be the
Yeah.
guinea pig. I don't want to be driving in circles around a block, especially in California." But
It's so funny.
But I also remember when the metaverse came out, like Mark
Yeah.
Zuckerberg was
Yes.
really trying to push the whole concept, like spend more time in the metaverse, like hang out with your friends in the metaverse. And like a lot of people that were investors in Facebook, like myself, I had bought some shares. I was hoping people would embrace the metaverse, but I realized like no one wants to fucking do that. Like
Yeah,
nobody wants
exactly.
to spend the
well,
time
you
in the
know,
metaverse.
they've tried that before. PlayStation had something called PlayStation Home. Does anyone else know about
Oh,
that?
I've
that,
heard of it,
that was
yeah.
a long
I've
time
heard of
ago.
that.
Like
Yeah, I
a
do
long
remember
time
that.
ago, like
Yeah.
2008,
Yeah,
2009, somewhere there. And PlayStation Home didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a like Sims or
Roller Coaster Tycoon, one of those games.
well, like more like Sims, where you have an avatar that represents you, and in this universe you can spend real money to get add-ons to your home.
Yep.
Kind of stuff like that, where it's like pay to play video games, and that went nowhere. So when I heard about the metaverse, I was like, I just don't think people are gonna open up to this idea the way he wants them
Yeah.
to.
100%. Like I remember like I was walking in the nearby like park that we live by, and I saw like one guy. It was like this weird middle-aged guy that had a metaverse mask on, and I was like, oh, like are more people? Am I gonna see more people doing this? And like that was 3 years ago, and like I haven't seen one other person with a metaverse
right.
mask.
I think it's very trendy. I think it's, it's kind of like a sci-fi movie where people are trying to see what it looks like in reality. And I think, to your point, Joe, about like, real music versus robots playing music, I think there is some kind of desire for humans to connect with other humans. And
Oh,
I think it's a
100%.
great thing
Yeah.
that we just reject this like attempt to manipulate our reality. I think we
Yes.
got to keep it balanced, but also fight against it too, because we don't want to be stuck in a situation where like I don't even own my own anything. It's all simulated.
It's all digitalized now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good segue into this next thing where, so Rylan, you were talking about people craving the human experience. And so people that want to try and get into having a relationship with a robot.
Yeah.
Like I cannot. I'm sorry. No. Like no matter
Sex
how
bot.
lonely
No.
I ever get. No. I'm sorry. That reminded me of Shia LaBeouf there for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so some people I understand, and this has happened a couple of times where they'll get a human like doll and do stuff with it. I mean, not that I'm trying to beat around the bush here a little bit, but people that maybe try to put an AI model in there that's strictly geared towards giving these guys a relationship experience, which does exist, by the way, in the form of apps.
There's a lot of
Yeah, I don't think people are. I mean, yes, some people are gonna be gravitated towards that, but once again, I feel like people do crave the human experience, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think the enticement of having this girlfriend experience from an AI, as someone who's maybe had a couple of relationships in the past, I cannot imagine myself ever having like an AI girlfriend. Like that's like I'm sorry, the lowest of the low.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say. We don't imagine us doing that yet. But
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Yet.
Here's the thing. We just got through a pandemic, and that was fucking crazy, right? That like changed our reality, right?
Yep.
And right now, reality is sort of got back to normal, and things are getting better, and people are fine with the way things are. But, what about the next pandemic where you can't go on dates, you can't meet people? I mean, just one example of where reality completely shifts in a negative way, right? now that AI bot's not looking so bad, you know.
Yeah.
If you haven't shacked up, if you haven't married at that point, and you're 21, and you can't go out and meet people, that human connection's been shut down. You know,
There was like the first 3 months of COVID, you weren't even allowed in like a park.
I
Yeah.
remember
Like
that.
you weren't allowed in a restaurant.
be
so
masked up
for a little
outside.
bit, for
Yeah.
a little bit, like you couldn't really go on dates for like
Yeah.
3-4 months.
the dating game got ruined, and I personally got through it. You got through it. We all have significant others now that's all said and done. But these kids that maybe don't have a girlfriend right now, and then also the metaverse, like, so you can't go to work. Well, you can go to work in the metaverse, you know.
Yeah.
And if God forbid we're in another pandemic situation, now the metaverse might sell. Now it might actually work.
Don't people still own property in the metaverse? Because there was a
Yes.
lot of people that
There's
bought
a lot of people. There's a
things.
lot of people that own digital like property in the metaverse. They have houses and they own streets in the metaverse and a hotel in the metaverse.
And they're still
crazy.
around.
I believe so. Yeah.
So I think that could be like a speculator. Someone might be like building freaking mansions in the metaverse, and then as soon as God forbid another pandemic hits, it's like, well, now you got to come to my metaverse. You got to come to my house.
I can see the appeal of a metaverse, because let's just say you're not happy with your own life, and you pop on like a metaverse mask, and all of a sudden you're skiing in Switzerland, or you're hiking in God knows where, like New Zealand, and you actually feel like you're actually there.
Yeah.
For somebody who gets paid $30,000 a year working a shitty 9 to 5 at a factory,
It's an escape.
That's a huge escape. And like that same guy, that same guy who's stuck working at a factory, he orders a AI sex robot, Vladka, Russian sex doll. And, he goes to town on it, and the sex doll, watches movies with him and TV with him and eats dinner with him. Like,
Yep.
to somebody who's extremely lonely, as long as the AI sex doll, looks and feels like a real woman, that'll be a massive improvement to that guy's life.
Yeah, I guess what we're saying is like the AI girlfriend, the meta universe. It really depends how good your actual reality is, because maybe
Yeah.
trying it in a different reality is a better option than
For some guys,
the cards
yeah.
you've been dealt in this life.
Some guys
That's
were
kinda
dealt
sad.
a really shitty hand, and AI sex dolls. They will be buying these $30,000 AI sex dolls.
Yeah.
And like I said, guys who don't have the best real reality, they love the metaverse, because they get to be someone that they're not in real life.
Yeah, and Joe, what were you gonna say?
No, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
I was just saying. I was thinking like there's so many movies out there where this kind of like ideas have been put out there, but we're getting to the point where we're living in a movie. Like,
Yeah.
did you ever think you'd be masked up at a supermarket? I surely never thought that would be
Absolutely
Fuck no.
like a
Fuck
reality.
That was a weird situation. Like, I remember it was, what was it, the very middle of March, and then all of a sudden, like, everybody was hearing about this virus, and it's getting closer. And it's getting closer.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, everybody was like, okay, y'all got to stay home. Dude, I remember one time I wanted to tell my parents, hey, I want to go to Wawa. And I was told, might not be a good idea to do that right now. And I remember,
So scary.
dude, I went to Wawa during that pandemic. I mean, it was like right in the beginning of it. And that little island that they, have the like condiments, well, not condiments, but all the add-ons for all the coffee, the self-serve coffee. Yeah, they removed all
Wow.
of the grates and everything that
That's
you see on
crazy.
top of that. I'm like, okay, what is going on? Like, the little cartons of milk that they have in that little refrigerated pit. Yeah, all that was gone.
Wow.
So like that was a weird situation. And just to kind of add to the whole AI thing, in my opinion, I think the whole metaverse thing is a little bit too much, way too early. I think we're eventually going to get to that point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very much like, and I hate to use this analogy, but it's the only one that's come to my mind. But when the steam engine came out back in the early 1800s, people were like, okay, well, this is all well and good. We don't have the infrastructure for it. Therefore, we're not going to invest in this new technology. Well, it turns out 100 years later, that's literally what everybody used in order to, transport wherever they wanted to. Same thing with AI, and especially like AI integration within a metaverse.
Yeah.
I think it's too much too early.
I think it depends how bad reality gets. Like, are
Yeah.
we talking? I mean, I'm not one of these people that talks about global warming, but what if that becomes a bigger issue? I'm not saying it will, but if it does, right? If it's like we're just talking about just like any type of existential crisis, it could be a nuclear situation, it could be
Yeah.
environment. Maybe none of this stuff happens. I hope it never happens, right? Because I like the way things are for the most part these days.
Same.
But if it gets worse, if you can't breathe the atmosphere outside your home, you need like a special bubble in your home, and the only way you can connect with people is through the metaverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it becomes much more valuable,
Much
you
more
know?
demanded.
Yeah,
And then your home becomes the freaking surface of Mars.
right.
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, like I mean, I think people are willing to escape a reality that gets much worse than this. I think right now life is good enough where people are willing to say fuck the metaverse, right? But
Yeah.
another pandemic or some kind of existential threat where you can't leave your home, all of a sudden you're like, I need a connection to human beings somehow.
Hello,
Yeah.
World War III.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something.
Yay!
Hello,
That
World
sounds
War
like-
III.
Well, it's
Time to
fine.
hop on the
Everything's
metaverse.
fine.
No, that's the thing that's scary about AI. It's like we're entering in like movie territory, but it's not a movie. Like the pandemic felt like a movie where you went to a grocery store. You're like, is this America? Like, am I in the USA?
Exactly.
You have two options: fight in the street with the Russians, or stay at home in your warm bed and with your metaverse glasses.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people would like to pretend like, there's nothing out there, so I'll stay home.
Yeah, you almost have to wonder, like, how far are we from the movie The Matrix?
Yeah, we're getting there,
It,
dude.
it seems very uncomfortably close to that at
Yeah.
this point.
It's getting there.
I'll say nothing beats like real human connection though. Like even the three of us just like, doing this and cracking jokes and like catching up. Nothing beats that, and nothing, beats like an in real person, like real romantic connection. But for people that can't get that real romantic connection, that's where I think these AI sex robots will be purchased, by tons and tons of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's not surprising whatsoever. Hopefully, we don't get to that point. If we do, well, you'll probably find me over at a park somewhere because I want to have absolutely nothing to do with that. But, gentlemen, we're pretty much out of time over here.
Yes.
So I wanted to say, thank you very much for, coming on the show, discussing with the panel. And, we're definitely trying to do what we can. So we're obviously trying to punch out some additional segments here from the previous episodes. So, we're trying to get all that stuff going. And then for future episodes, we do have some, appearances that we're going to, have some fun with. But I wanted to thank Dave Grohl
Yeah.
specifically.
I wanted to thank Dave Grohl and also Tom Cruise. So
I wanted to thank Lisa Ann and Sky Bree for many years.
Why would you want to thank Arlene, sir?
You're right. I should thank my old 86-year-old, she's probably 92 now,
Jeez.
senile old lady neighbor Arlene for those many years of blabbing my head off.
I want to thank my dog for being a dog.
I want to
know why.
thank my cat for being a cat and chewing up
Yeah.
my phone chargers.
Something about my dog, just, I love America so much when I look into my dog's eyes.
When I look into your dog's eyes, he just fufucking barks his head off
my
at
dog
me.
just wants to eat you at that point.
You
Like,
feel like Alfie hates me.
yeah. Anyway.
He hates my guts and wants to eat my guts.
I was going to say something about my dick, but I'm going to try and not stoop to that
Oh,
level.
I want to thank running toilets. That we don't have to use porta potties all the time.
I would like to
Oh, those
thank
are great.
I would like to thank that pipe up right above you for
Yes.
not bursting.
Yes, I'm so glad that we haven't changed our name to the Poocast yet. Poopod or whatever.
Poopod.
But just a few things to be thankful for.
You know,
Yes.
just at the end of each episode, we'll each have to take a shit and then hear it go by like, "Choo, that's Shane, that's Ryland, that's Joe."
Well, thank you guys very much for joining us on this wildly off the rails podcast.
Poulette.
What?
Poo cast.
I'm trying to end the damn show.
Poo pod.
But yeah, like I said, we'll try and get a little bit more episodes pumped out here. Thank you very much. Please consider subscribing; it absolutely helps out. Please comment at least your thoughts on what we have discussed about AI, and also, if you have anything going on in your life, just put it down in the comments. We'll absolutely love to respond to you guys. Otherwise, have a great day. We will see you guys on the next podcast. Peace.
Peace.